कारण काय असतं की कॉम्पिटिशन आहे, पण इट इज नॉट ट्रिवियल. म्हणजे तुम्हाला त्या कॉम्पिटिशनमध्ये भाग घ्यायचा आहे आणि ती जिंकायची आहे आणि मग इथे यायचं आहे. त्याला खूप धैर्य लागतं, त्याला खूप काम करावं लागतं. आणि सो दॅट इज वाय इट इज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट विनिंग, बट इट इज ऑल्सो अबाउट पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन दिस कॉम्पिटिशन. सो वेल डन टू ऑल ऑफ यू. माळी सर म्हणाले की तुम्हाला वेळ आहे, मला वेळ नाही आहे, because I was sitting on this side. Mohanji also said that I have very limited time to talk. So, तुमचा जे काय आताचा प्रोग्राम आहे तो इनोव्हेशनवर आहे. सो माय लाईफ हॅज ऑल्सो बीन अराउंड इनोव्हेशन. सो आय हॅव डिसाइडेड टू टेल यू सम स्टोरीज अबाउट द वर्क दॅट आय हॅव बीन इन्वॉल्ड इन इनोव्हेशन. अँड होपफुली तुम्हाला थोडंसं इन्स्पिरेशन मिळतं, तुम्हाला तुमच्या कामामध्ये इनोव्हेशन कसं आणायचं किंवा कुठल्या पद्धतीने इनोव्हेशन करायचं आहे. Vashni Saab mentioned about purpose. Innovation without purpose means nothing, right? Then you will not have the impact, whether it is for society or even for your company, because then you will not be sustainable. Without purpose, you will just like a traded company, you will just have a great run, but for a short period. So, firstly, let us see. Innovation manje kai? This fellow is very bright, I will not ask him. What is innovation? कोई सांगू शकता? कोई बोल सकता है इनोवेशन क्या है? न्यू आइडियाज, ठीक है? ऑलराइट, सो isn't this a great idea? Right? कि क्यों एक बारी क्यों भरे, 5 कप भरना है तो एक ही साथ भर दे. Great idea, right? Isn't this a great idea? Right? Who will draw water? मोबाइल को लगा दो, हो गया काम. But like Vashni Saab said, you need to have a purpose, you need to have impact, and hence I call it jugaad. Okay, it's not innovation. Is it important? Yes, of course. It is local problem solving. It solves drudgery. It solves time issues. It is efficient, all of that. But it's unscalable. And it is also not impactful to the rest of the society, right? So we start calling it jugaad. So what is innovation? Okay.
Anything which will benefit society and is scalable.
Is innovation? Okay. All right. Let's see whether your definition matches some of the examples that I have. Sridhar Saab mentioned I work for Reliance. Vashni Saab mentioned Dhirubhai Ambani. His son Mukesh Ambani is my boss. I think he has grown Reliance 10x more than Dhirubhai Saab. And that too all with great purpose, great passion and a lot of perseverance. Doing business in India is not easy. You would agree with me. And hence he is one of the greatest innovators, not only in India, but also in the world. To prove that, I'll give you an example. But the ethos of Reliance, right, was always purpose behind what it did. Okay, the first was roti, kapda, right? We started with textiles, now we are the largest polyester manufacturers in the world. Makan housing, okay, roti, kapda, makan suna hai, right? But we said that the next generation also needs mobile. So in 2003, we did the first mobile revolution. Most of you possibly may not have also been born, but that was the time when we said mobile telephony, mobiles have to be in each and every hand of each and every Indian, right? And now when Mukesh Bhai started, he said internet has to be a basic human right, okay? Like roti, kapda, makan, mobile is a basic human right, internet has to be a basic human right. So what did we do? We did Jio. Anybody using Jio here? Excellent, thank you, right? What did Jio do? Jio changed the game. Right? Jio changed the game by saying that if internet has to be a basic human right, we have to make internet as cheaper, inexpensive. But by that, we can't say, okay, we were at 2G, now I will give you 1G internet. Doesn't work. Because technology, 2G, if you, how many use YouTube here? Okay, now try and use 2G on, YouTube on 2G. आपका बिल एक वीडियो का 10,000 रुपये आएगा. Okay, now how much are you paying? $150 for a charge, right? So high quality bandwidth, 4G, and now all of you are using 5G if you have 5G phones. You are now using highest quality bandwidth, right? But at most affordable cost, right? With that, what has happened basically with Jio? If you look at these two ladies, okay, both are using mobile, both are using internet, okay, because all of this is based on internet, voice over IP technology. If you agree, income inequality between the two ladies would be 1 to 1,000, 1 to 10,000, maybe, right? But you see the access equality. Both are using the same bandwidth. ऐसे नहीं है कि आप गरीब हो तो आपको थोड़ा throttled 5G मिलेगा. Mukesh bhai is using 5G, you are using the same 5G. Okay, this lady is using the same 4G that the other lady is using. So access equality, despite income inequality, is the impact of such innovations like Jio. And you will have many such examples like this. Now you will ask yourself, what does it do? It does many things, right? It allows a lot of things to be done for this lady, but also for the poor lady, right? You have 100 unicorns. What is a unicorn? Any startup which is $1 billion over market cap. I hope some of your businesses also become that. If you ask each one of them, we have 100 unicorns in India. If you ask each one of them, they will all say we wouldn't have been here if it was not for Jio. Why? Because Jio gave them scale. Scale happens in the digital world, right? So rapidly they could become a unicorn, and that is what innovations like this do. Okay. We are talking about India, and yes, India will be a developed nation and all of that, but we don't have time, right? We have to rapidly become a great nation. We did white revolution, we did green revolution, we did grey revolution when we started IT, when we used our grey cells, the brain power, and I think we need more such revolutions. Today we are in the knowledge revolution, we are in the internet age. So just how rapidly can you do your business? All of you are going to take your ideas and some of you are going to become entrepreneurs. So let us look at what happens. So number of years to reach 50 million users, okay? Telephone took 50 years to reach 50 million users, okay? Telephone, we celebrated when we got a landline. People used to throw parties. घर पे अगर landline आता था, you guys are all digital natives, you will not understand. But our life was, घर पे अगर rotary phone आता था, we used to throw parties. Mobile phone, although how impressive it was and how important it was, it took 12 years. YouTube took 4, Facebook took 3, Twitter took 2 years to reach 50 million users. Any guess how much time Jio took to reach 50 million users? Any guess? You are all users of Jio. Sorry, 1 year, 6 months, 83 days. Okay. Now, I mentioned that it's very difficult to do business in India. Now, just imagine how do you now, without innovation, this can't happen. Okay. So we took Aadhaar, we took the India stack, we took eKYC, and then we rapidly converted a lot of people who are not on internet to come on internet through Jio. Many innovations I don't have time to. We also mentioned India. So before Jio, India was 152nd rank in terms of data consumption on mobile. Today, because of Jio, we are number 1. We consume more data than US and China put together. That is the game-changing ability of an innovation like Jio. Okay. So we all know our Prime Minister says that India will be a developed nation by 2047. Mathematics tells us that we have enough domestic consumption ability, we have enough domestic market, sir, for us to very easily do that, maybe even before that. Why not, right? You are the future of India, you will be able to do that for us. But the definition of a developed nation is the economic definition of a developed nation, GDP per capita, right? But GDP per capita, does it also mean inclusive? Will all Indians have access, like Jio, okay, to education, to healthcare? Will it be an inclusive developed nation? Will it be an equitable growth? The answer is no, because there is so much of inequality in India. Okay? So disparities and exclusion is there, and we have to ensure with innovations like Geo that we include them by 2047. We can't wait. We can't say, okay, you have to wait for good healthcare until 2047. Tab tak ke liye you will have to suffer. We can't do that. We have to change the game. We have to change the game very rapidly. Let's take a few examples. So Sridharji mentioned that Anjani Mashelkar Foundation, we are very fortunate to work with Dr. Mashelkar, and in that we are trying to make some of this disruptive, inclusive innovation successful. Let me give you a few examples of that. Many people out here are from rural areas. तुम्ही तुमच्या गावात बघितलंय हे दृश्य? Okay. So lung diseases in India, in Delhi it is pollution, in Pune it is vehicular pollution. गावामध्ये ह्याच्यामुळे होतं. ओके, चुला, गॅस नाही आहे, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नाही आहे, त्याचा स्मोक असतो. अँड दीज लेडीज अँड ऑल्सो द यंग किड्स, बिकॉज रिमेंबर दे आर ऑल्सो सिटिंग विथ दर मदर्स, राईट, दे हॅव व्हॉट इज कॉल्ड ॲज ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिव्ह पल्मनरी डिझीज. म्हणजे काय, आपले एअरवेज जे असतात, श्वास नलिका जी असते ती ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट होते याच्यामुळे. काय होतं मग हे खोकत राहतात, ते अजून कन्स्ट्रक्ट होते आणि मग नंतर डेथ होते. ओके, so if you look at the numbers, just because of this, the numbers are extremely high, more than a lot of other deaths because of lung diseases in India. So what do you do? Okay, so तुमच्यासारखाच एक young Narayana Rao, he has worked in DRDO, you mentioned Dr. Abdul Kalam, great inspiration to Dr. Narayana Rao, and he said ki me DRDO मध्ये, I am doing defense innovation, why can't I solve this problem, right? So what did he notice? He noticed that lung disease diagnose करायला की तुम्हाला खोकला का येतोय, तुम्हाला खोकला बॅक्टेरियल इन्फेक्शनमध्ये येतोय का, तुम्हाला खोकला तुमच्या चुल्यामुळे येतोय, तुमचे लंग एअरवेज तुमचे कन्स्ट्रिक्ट झाले. दिस इज अ टेस्ट कॉल्ड स्पायरोमेट्री. ओके, आता हे थोडं एक्झॅजरेटेड आहे, पण स्पायरोमेट्रीमध्ये तुम्हाला यू हॅव टू ब्लो इन टू द स्पायरोमीटर, दॅट्स कॉल्ड द स्पायरोमीटर देअर. अ टेक्निशियन लागतो, where वो टेक्नीशियन देखेगा कि आपका लंग कैपेसिटी कितना है while you blow it in, and then it will give you a result, right? The spirometer costs, it's very expensive, it costs 1.5 lakhs. You need a technician has to be trained, right? So 1.5 lakhs plus trained technician, त्या गावामध्ये मिळू शकतो? नाही. ज्या बाईचा तुम्ही फोटो बघितला त्या गावामध्ये नाही मिळू शकत, कारण आपल्या कंट्रीकडे तेवढं बजेटच नाही आहे. We don't have the healthcare budget to take this kind of sophisticated equipment to our public health centers, and that is why we don't have diagnosis, that is why we don't have treatment, that is why we have death. Simple equation, right? So what did Narayana do? He said, okay, if that is the issue, why don't I disrupt the space? So what has he done? He has done this, okay? All that he has done is he has taken a smartphone and he has trained with artificial intelligence the audiometry, where cough becomes a biomarker. म्हणजे काय, म्हणजे तुम्ही सेलफोन घ्यायचा, त्याच्यामध्ये एक ॲप असेल, त्याच्यामध्ये फक्त तुम्ही खोकायचं आहे. ओके, सो यू जस्ट कॉफ इन टू द सेलफोन अँड इट विल टेल यू द लंग हेल्थ. ओके, इट विल टेल यू वेदर यू हॅव लंग issues, it will tell you whether your airways are obstructed, and once you have this kind of a platform, they do more and more research. Now the same app can tell you whether you have COVID. The same app can, sir, tell you whether you have tuberculosis. Okay, so now if you see how he has disrupted, let us see how he has disrupted this, right? So disruption for inclusion. Why he had to disrupt it? Because he has to include the rural lady. He cannot take the spirometer there, right? So hence he has to disrupt. So best practice spirometer, 1.5 lakhs equipment cost. The assessment cost is 1,000 to 1,500 rupees. तुम्ही जर का खेडेगावात आला आहात कोणी इथे रुरल एरियामधनं, एवढी ऐपत आहे का तिकडे 1,500 रुपये भरायची? बरं, बाय द वे, इफ इट इज नॉट देअर, यू हॅव टू ट्रॅव्हल टू द सिटी टू डू दिस. दॅट मीन्स यू लूज 3 days ऑफ युअर वर्क, आणि तिथे राहणार कुठे? इट इज इम्पॉसिबल, right, to do something like this. So the test assessment cost is 1,500, and of course once you are there, the results come in 90 minutes. Now with Narayana's innovation of mobile phone, which called Swasa, by the way, the equipment cost is zero. Why? Because the smartphone is in every rural area. Barabar? Anybody from rural area, a smartphone will be there with somebody, thanks to Geo, thanks to the internet and mobile telephony revolution. So hardware cost zero zali, 1.5 lakh zero, that is disruption. Okay. Assessment cost, because it is an app, you ask him and he says, sir, I can do the test for 1 rupee. There is no incremental cost. Once you write the code, okay, it is there. You just replicate it, there is no incremental cost, there is no labor cost, hence assessment cost. 1,500 1 rupaya, right? And result is of course instantaneous. Now see how Narayana has changed the game completely. We as a foundation are helping him scale. We as a foundation together with Indian government and organizations like WHO, etc., are saying that, okay, let us not leave the excluded Indians out of healthcare, okay? Let's make them happy. Mari sir said that our life's purpose has to be happiness. Narayana's purpose is to find happiness in that rural lady's happiness, right? So happiness for others. Let's take another example. Rural people wouldn't know this, urban people know it because it's an urban problem. What is this? Sewage. Okay. What is that man doing? He is not taking a swim. Cleaning the drainage, right? So drainages, they get clogged. The man has to go inside the drainage, clean it up, bring all the muck up, and clean the drainage for us. So we are the creators and he solves our problem, right? So innovation is problem solving, is solving our problem. What is the impact of that? One of those gentlemen dies every 5 days. And by the way, there are 4.2 million such Indians who go down in something called as a manhole, right? 1 in 5 out of those people that you saw dies every 5 days in India. Because of us. We don't know, we are not sensitive. Why do they die? Of course, it is toxic, right? You go inside the chamber, it is toxic, there are gases there, people die. If you don't die of toxicity, to enter that, they have to be intoxicated. To be intoxicated, they cannot take fancy drugs. They do spurious liquor. Spurious liquor म्हणजे तुमची देशी दारू पण त्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा पॉइझनस आणि लिव्हर सिरोसिस मध्ये मरतात. Okay, so average age is like 25-30 years of these gentlemen. They have to do it because of another reason that they are getting excluded. So what happened? Youngsters like you, these 4 gentlemen, they are engineers from Kerala. They saw that problem and they said, "Arey yaar, we have to solve this problem. Why we should not think about, the 5,000 crore company, etc., etc. This is a big problem to solve. Let us solve that." What did they do? They did this. Okay, it's called Bandicoot. It's a robot. It's a fully sophisticated robot. You see the middle part there. Let me see if this works. You see this middle part here? Okay. These are the cables. The middle part goes into that hole, right? This rest of the body stands on top. The middle part goes in the hole, and it has the ability to go sideways and round, and it brings all the muck back, whatever is choking the drainage, and then it disposes off, right? So these 4 engineers have done this. They are now in 19 countries doing this. They are in 17 states of India doing this for us, okay? Now it is sophisticated. Now their big problem was manual scavengers, okay? They are called manual scavengers, by the way. They आपल्या drainage मध्ये जातात ना, they are called manual scavengers. So त्यांचं काय होईल? त्यांचा आता जॉब जाईल. मग ठीक आहे ना, मग जॉब गेला तर कुठेतरी लागतील. नाही, कोणी घेतच नाही. का घेत नाही? Because they say, what skill do you have? He says, the only skill I have is to clean drainage. And the problem in India, unfortunately, is also they belong to the lowest caste. Okay? So lowest caste in a area there, no job, no skill, drainage साफ करता है, इसको हम कैसे अंदर ले? The 4 boys, I'm going to tell you a story that I should not be telling you, but because you are youngsters, you need to be inspired. The 4 boys not only just saw that and read about manual scavenger's death. You know what they saw in Kerala? When they were doing their research, sir, a team of 3 or 4 went into the manhole, they came up, lunchtime ho gaya tha. For lunchtime, they cleaned themselves with pipe, they went to the restaurant in Kochi, outside, and the restaurant said, oh, hang on, you can't come in. आप ये ड्रेनेज साफ करते हो, आप नहीं आ सकते हो अंदर. They said, okay, fine, I want food. आप मुझे बिरयानी बाहर दीजिए. They said, we can't give you the plates also. हम प्लेट नहीं दे सकते आपको, right? So they said, फिर खाए कैसे हम? हमको तो भूख लगी है. We are here. You know what they did? Unimaginable. Unimaginable. They went back. उनका जो स्पेड होता है क्लीन करने का, वो उन्होंने धोया, स्पेड पे बिरयानी लिया और स्पेड पे से खाया. That is the life of a manual scavenger. That is what Rashid and Vikram there, they have done. Okay, that is what they're doing. Now, they will have no job. Then what do they do? So these boys said that, yes, we are great engineers. By the way, 350 engineers, world-class engineers work for them in Kerala now. And they are a profitable company. Sridhar Vembu has invested 30 crores straight, okay, in that company. And it's a very sophisticated robot. It can do on its own, sab karna padta hai. But now, see how inclusion works in India. They said that we'll make it semi-autonomous. Okay? So what happens is that semi-autonomous, this is the same guy that you saw first, he used to do that. The same guy got trained to become a robot operator. Same guy got trained to be a robot operator. And now that is his picture. Okay? So inclusive innovation in this case in India, India is a very, very weird country. You have to solve for many things. It's not just technological innovation. You have to solve for many things. So now you have access to dignity. Lowest caste, robot operator. इनके बच्चे, I don't have time to show you the video. इनके बच्चे स्कूल में बोलते हैं कि मेरे पिताजी ड्रेनेज साफ नहीं करते, मेरे पिताजी रोबोट ऑपरेटर है. Okay? So it is not only giving dignity to him, but also to his family, also to his next generation. That is the impact, that is the purpose, sir, that youngsters have to work on. I completely agree with you. That is the passion, that is the purpose. And then you will say, अच्छा ठीक है सर, सोशल इनोवेशन ठीक है, इनको थोड़ा एक रोटरी का सोशल प्राइज मिल जाएगा, मंजू जी इज वेरी काइंड, शी विल गिव. नो, दे गो बियॉन्ड दैट. फोर्ब्स हैज गिवन देम द मोस्ट कवर्टेड 30 under 30 prize. They have won the national awards in India. They have won many other awards globally. So ऐसे नहीं है कि आप सोशल इनोवेशन करते हो तो आप सोशल स्पेस में रहते हो. You do get recognized globally for the technology, for the innovation and the purpose. Absolutely. In the foundation, we have, I just told you 2 stories in the foundation. There are many such youngsters like you who have solved social problems of cancer, of cardiac arrest, of remote monitoring of healthcare. All of these guys, you see, they are all smiling, sir. You can't see their shoes, but they are all smiling. I'm sure they have very clean shoes. But they also ensure that they bring smiles to millions of other Indians as well through their work, right? And hence, I'm leaving this stage by inspiring you to do well. आप भी बड़े हो जाओ, आप भी नाम कमाओ, लेकिन इंडिया का प्रॉब्लम भी सॉल्व करो. इंडिया के जो एक्सक्लूडेड लोग हैं उनके भी चेहरे पे मुस्कान लेके आओ. विद दैट, थैंक यू वेरी मच.